Hello sailors! Coming up this week, not one passage, but two. We have a major panic.
Bit of a crisis on board this morning. We've got a bit of a problem.
We make some friends in the Gulf of St Malo. And we find we can't go to the Channel Islands.
We're not allowed to go there. And then Jersey and Guernsey are that way, and we can't go there either.
The Swedes are cutting it close. Well done, guys. These two just got out the piers and went, uh-oh, back in. You're right there, darling.
Yeah, fine there. Bloody Irish ferries.
At least they're going a sensible speed, unlike those Scottish ones around Mull.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, like I said, he was just thinking, what the hell's going on, mate?
Now that excitement's out of the way, lines are tidied, fenders away. Good morning from Cherbourg.
Cherbourg!
We are on our way to Diélette.
Yes,
Little
we are
tiny
delighted
place.
to be on our way to Diélette.
Yes.
We don't have any nice footage of Cherbourg, you know, walking around, seeing the attractions and so on, because we've been here for 5 nights and the wind only got turned off last night. It was a gale. It was a gale before that with plenty of pleuvoir. Rain.
But we couldn't have asked for anywhere more sheltered. That marina was very well tucked away.
Didn't move a muscle, did we?
We were fine.
Really nice.
Anyway, let's get the sunscreen on, get our sunglasses on, because it looks like a nice day.
Absolute more.
Mwah.
Right. So we've come a long way. We started off here, now we're here. And today we are going from Cherbourg to a place called Diélette, around the corner here. And today is all about tides. Someone was saying the other day in a forum, tides are a small part of sailing. Not in this neck of the woods. In this neck of the woods, tides are really everything, to be honest. And what we have today, this is the island of Alderney, one of the Channel Islands. And this is the Alderney Race, or the Blanchard Race, if you're French. And the tide runs through here at up to 11 knots on a spring tide. We're on Neeps, so it's going to be a bit less than that. We're expecting 5 knots today, but there's not a lot of wind. In fact, there's no wind. So we need that tide going with us, otherwise we're going to be going backwards, baby, which is not what we want to do. So we've left Cherbourg. I'd wish we'd left an hour earlier now, because whenever you put a leaving time, you never leave on time. There's always things that get in the way and stuff. Other vessels, stuff happening within the harbour, getting out of bed late. And I wish we'd left an hour earlier, but we should be okay. We should have the tide with us the whole way. And unfortunately with Diélette we are constrained by draft to get in there. So Diélette we need, there's a 2 metre sill, then we've got a 2 metre draft, and then we want a 1 metre clearance, so we need 5 metres of tide. Not a problem, because high tide at 7 metres today, which means that we can't get in there until after 3:30. So yeah, we want to make as much progress as possible now, and if we're waiting around outside of Diélette, that's fine, but we've got to get through this race with the tide going with us.
And not get sent over to Jersey.
And not get sent to Guernsey. I don't think there's much chance of that.
And the reason I'm joking about not accidentally going to the Channel Islands is, well, firstly, we haven't checked out of France, and secondly, this little one. I think a lot of people, if they were going down to the Med, they would probably stop in either Jersey and or Guernsey, but that's not an option for us because of this little one. I believe if you're going by private vessel, you can go UK, Channel Islands and straight back to the UK, but because she's been in France, it's not allowed. Even though she's got all her vaccines, including the 3-year rabies one. But she doesn't know that. She's just enjoying a snooze. are about 10 minutes from the race now.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're flying along at 8.5 knots. You could just feel the tide suddenly kick in, couldn't you?
I mean, it's been with us the whole way, but I guess that
it accelerated.
Yeah, you can definitely feel it accelerating. Yeah, definitely. And it just looks weird, doesn't it? When these notorious races, the water looks weird. It looks shifty.
Yeah, it's the same as around, like around Mull and Curragh and those sort of areas.
The sound of Lung.
Yes, you just get weird water where it's doing different things in different patches. You get this patchwork quilt on the water.
Yeah.
Oh, lovely gannets. So
Yeah.
pretty, I love gannets. But there's another boat ahead of us.
The victim boat.
It's always nice to have one ahead that you're following.
If they stay afloat, we should stay afloat.
It should
if
be
they
alright.
start sinking,
We go back to Cherbourg.
no, we help. I tell you what.
You don't want to radio me for help, do you?
Not you, no. I'll help, and you'll help. Between us, we'll get it sorted out. But no, it's nice to see another boat going through. I mean, don't always blindly follow the boat in front of you because they might not, know what they're doing. But yeah, I think in this case, it's nice to have that little marker going through. And what you get really here is, with the tide going so fast, the key is to just make sure that the boat goes where you want it to go, because the tide is so fast. It's difficult to go in a straight line if you're going, if the tide's on either side of you. So we're giving it a nice wide berth, and even though we're going in a straight line, we're boomeranging around the top here rather than getting sucked into that race and ending up, where we don't want to be. The Swedes are going to Alderney. Buggers, we were on our own. I wish we were here an hour earlier, I really do. Mainly because the tide's going to turn in about 50 minutes. Hopefully it spits us through and we're going to make enough progress down to Diélette. There's only one way to find out. Three hours in, we've done 20 miles of our 27, which is really nice. What a fast pace. We're through the Alderney Race, which is nice. The tide is definitely starting to turn now. We've gone down from 9 knots to 5.5, and that's with just under 2,500 revs on. We can see Diélette. We're pointing straight at it now. The tide does run up this coast though really very quickly. It's not just the race that's got a fast tide round here. So this could be a long final kind of 7 miles to Diélette. I don't know. I always get nervous when you're planning races and sounds. These kind of passages which involve going through stretches of water that are notorious and and quite rightly so most of the time, but whenever there's like another boat there, like that Swedish boat earlier, you think, oh well, I must have got my timings right because there's someone else here at the same time. It's like a bit of a confirmation. It makes you feel great, good. But when you're the only boat there, you start to think, well, why am I the only boat here? Is it because I've got my calculations wrong? Is is this a really bad time to do it? Or is it just because there's like no one else here? When you start to second guess yourself, like, I haven't sat down. This is the first time I've sat down in I don't know how long, because I'm just watching like what's going on, is the tide turning, are we all right? And invariably, it's all right, it's fine, because we pick these windows, taking into consideration wind, tide, even atmospheric pressure and stuff, yeah, I don't know if it goes away. I don't know if one day you get to a point of sailing where you're just so confident that you're like, this is it, I'm fine, this is all good, and then you can just relax and enjoy it. I mean, I am relaxed and I am enjoying it, but at the same time, I'm on tenterhooks as well. You know, maybe that's just me. I was just thinking, like, over there is Alderney. It's a big island sticking out the water, and over there is France. We're not allowed to go there. And then Jersey and Guernsey are that way, and we can't go there either because of a dog, which is, you know, got all of its certificates and all that. And I mean, it's Yui, for Christ's sake, you know what I mean? It's Yui. Bloody politicians, isn't it? Like, making up rules. I was talking to a French person the other day, and they said, well, in France, rules, well, they're just there for guidance. It's expected that, you know, you might meander around these types of rules and, you know, forget about them, or, you know, cut corners and stuff like that. It's the French way. It's a suggestion, you know, but you do what you will. That's not the British way, is it? The British way is like, oh, there's a rule, we have to follow it, we have to. And no, look, you know, we would take the French approach, and we'd rock up at the Channel Islands, and then we'll get some jobs with straight away over in a rib or something. Oh, you can't do that, you can't bring, you can't, and you know, it'll just be like, oh. And therefore, we avoid it altogether. You know, part of our territory. Our forebears fought for these islands, and we can't go there. Well, we can go there, but Yui wouldn't be allowed to get off the boat. This is just like, I mean, come on. Bloody politicians, man. Oh.
This must be the prettiest marina we've stayed in for a while. It's just so lovely and peaceful here, and I think, oh dear, like, no, don't moor against that one. You can't moor there, there's an underwater sill, don't do it. I think if we had more time and, well, more money, because it's quite expensive here, you could spend a few days here and just enjoy all the trails and the countryside and just look at all the hills. It's beautiful. I really like it here. I think we're going to have a very peaceful night. And there's the sill, just this underwater wall that runs all the way along this pontoon. And there's cleats on that side of the pontoon, so it does look like you can moor up there. I don't know, maybe if you're in a very small vessel, or you were just here for a few hours when it's high water. But, ooh, I wonder how many keels or rudders have knocked off that before. What are you doing, Yui? Where are you going? Morning. It is a little after 5 a.m. Just a few jobs to do before we head off this morning. I need to walk Yui. But there's a bit of a crisis on board this morning. We've got a bit of a problem.
We've got 1,000 tea bags with no milk.
And it's gonna rain all day. What are we gonna do without tea?
Drink it black.
No.
So we had a whinge on yesterday about not being able to go to these handy places here, Guernsey and Jersey, because we got the dog. So what does that mean for us? It means we can't go to the Channel Islands, obviously. So today, rather than a nice kind of like 25 miler or 20 miler to one of these two islands, we're actually going to do a long passage of about just under 70 nautical miles, depending on how close to Jersey we can get, based upon overfalls or anything, you know, skitey with the sea. So we're on the hoof today for quite a long period of time. It's all right though, because we're going to make up quite a lot of miles. Doesn't mean we miss out all of this, which is unfortunate. Another reason why we're doing this though, really, is that the weather has been absolutely terrible, and we had 2 days of sailing. One to get around the Alderney Race yesterday, and 2, we can go southwest today, and then we ain't moving for a good 3 or 4 days after that, because of the weather. I need a haircut. I haven't been able to get one in France so far, partly because I've been too scared to go into a hairdresser's, partly because of the price. 20 odd euros for a short back and sides. So what we need is 3 days, 2 or 3 days, in the cockpit where it's sunshine, it's not blown 35 knots, so that Faye can cut my hair lockdown style. You save that money, yeah. So things of note on a 12-hour passage. You're going to get a foul tide in a 12-hour passage. We've been through that before, and we are straight into a foul tide today. But as foul tides go on this particular passage, it's 1.5 knots of foul tide, pushing us up towards the Alderney Race. So we're to port of the tidal flow there. But the important flow that we want going with us is between Jersey and Guernsey. We want that tide going with us, and by the time we get there, that tide will be flowing through there between the 2 islands and push us through quite nicely. It's the strongest tidal flow on the passage we've got today. And then we do a left, and then we've got cross tides pushing us this way initially, and then that way later on. Probably going to balance each other out, but we'll keep an eye on it. We should be there in time for tea. And it's Tuesday, so France should be open.
It won't be when we get there.
Oh man, don't say that. So, wind conditions, we are expecting a northeasterly, force 5. So brisk downwind sailing, a la Diélette, but without the swell, hopefully. And we've come out, and they're in a whisper of wind. We did have the Genoa out earlier, because we were on a dead run. And I went down below to put my trousers on. Well, my foulies on, sorry, I already had trousers on. And it was backing everywhere. So that's gone away for now. Hopefully it fills in a bit later, but it's careful what you wish for with the wind. But with a passage like this, you want to sail because it's faster. We want to get there earlier. And we don't want to use diesel.
And if it's raining and we're not using the mainsail, Yui gets the driest seat in the house, under the spray hood. You good girl, Yui? You are. You good girl. Even though you've worked out how to wiggle out of your harness now, you little terror.
Couple of hours in, and yeah, the one thing about the weather forecast that was correct is the rain hasn't stopped raining yet. So full foulies on. The wind's still not there. I estimate we've got about 6 knots of wind behind us. So we're only doing 4.9 knots now. We've got the Genoa out, and it's managing to stay put for now, but I'm hoping if we can kind of get away from the land. I mean, we are quite far away from the land already. The wind will fill in. It is forecast to still fill in a bit, so hopefully it will, because at this rate it's going to take bloody ages to get to Saint-Quay-Portrieux is where we're going. My French accent is obviously doing 10 out of 10 now. Still raining. I can't complain though, because apparently for the next 6 days it's not going to rain, and there is going to be with the temperature is going to start with a 2, and it's not going to be just 2, it's going to be in the 20s, 21, 22. I might even get my white legs out in a pair of shorts. But until then, we're going to ride out this wet weather. I suppose the boat's getting a rinse off, and there's only one thing to do really. Have a banana.
There's going to be people in the comments talking about how it's bad luck to have bananas on a boat.
Yeah.
Yes, we have bananas on board. No, we don't think they're bad luck.
We might not be superstitious when it comes to bananas, but it's hard not to buy into the idea of dolphins as good omens. Cultures all around the world share myths about dolphins as guardians of the seas, guides to lost souls, and protectors of sailors.
Well, that's woke me up. Oh, 'cause 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 ' wow, they were all taking turns to have a go on the bow wave. I don't know what they were doing there, whether some people were saying maybe they scratched themselves or something, or maybe it just feels nice, who knows. But I was just saying to Faye, we're quite happy to have members of the dolphin family interacting with us in this part of the world, but I hope they haven't marked us for when we get down to Portugal and the Strait of Gibraltar, so their cousins can come and have a go as well, because they don't play as gently. Foul tide starting to abate, which is lovely. We're getting up to nearly 6 knots now. We should get well over 6. The sea is starting to get a bit following, so I hope that's a sign of things to come. Hoping that the wind continues to build so that we can really get some speed on. Yeah, wow, dolphins never gets old, does it? Never gets old. They're just extraordinary, absolutely incredible. Love it. 7.3 knots. So the timings have worked out quite well here. So that's we are North Jersey at the moment. So we're gonna go on the north side and then down the west side of Jersey. It's getting a bit rolly through this channel between Guernsey and Jersey, but nothing we haven't seen before, to be honest. Timings are great. It's exactly what we wanted. The foul tide going through here, it was 3.5 knots later on, so yeah, I wouldn't fancy making 1.5 knots against it, you know. So yeah, it's been slow going so far. We're only averaging 4 knots an hour over the full passage, but we'll make some of that up now. Oh yeah.
I just got very confused there because I put the logbook entry in for 10 o'clock this morning, and then came up on deck and looked at my phone and it was 9 o'clock. And I was like, have I just done this time wrong on the logbook? It's like, no, we're just changing time zones. We were in French time zones, now we're back in British time zones, and this evening we'll go back into French time zones. Anyway, time for a passage update.
4 hours in, we've done 171 miles. I don't know why it keeps doing this. We haven't. We've done about 21 miles, which is pretty good going. We're just coming around the top of Jersey here, and here's the destination in SQP, Squip. We're making good speed at the moment, about 8 knots with the tide, so we timed this really quite nicely. Getting a bit closer to Jersey than we anticipated, so we'll cut this leg off. That'll cut a few miles off, which is nice. But we'll probably just continue in this way. The tide's going to continue to push us up here. This will turn and then push us back on course as well. So I think we'll just continue with this course, and hopefully we will be there about 6 o'clock tonight. Downwind helm practice in swelly seas.
Yeah.
How are you doing, Faye?
Good. Well, again, this is something I couldn't really do last season because steering was quite heavy for me.
Yeah.
And, we were also worried about the steering cables, weren't we, towards the end?
Yeah.
So yeah, it's nice to have a little practice while the winds are light.
Yeah. Doing great. You seem to have caught yourself a snoozy Rex.
I have the cutest little thing in the world. She's been absolutely good as gold.
She has.
Yeah, she's had a little bit of liver and cheese as a treat, and because it was the swell got up a little bit more than what we were expecting, so rather than take Huey to the bow, we brought her grass to the cockpit.
We brought the bow to Huey.
Yeah, and she knew straight away, had a little wee, got her favourite treat, and then just went back to snooze.
Yeah, good
So
girl. Seven hours in?
Something like that, yeah.
Something like that. Long time, isn't it?
It is. It's been a long one.
Very tired. The wind never showed up. Unbelievable. I've been watching this weather for days, haven't you?
Yeah, yeah.
We actually had a bit of trepidation about it because even yesterday it was supposed to be 17 gusting 24. We were like, well, that's fine, we can do that, you know, and psyching ourselves up. And I was checking the weather at 3 o'clock this morning because I don't really sleep very well before a long passage, and we had to get up for, well, 4:30 anyway. So I was checking the weather this morning, and you know, it was all the same.
Yeah, it had kind of gone down to more like 10 gusting 17 when I checked this morning at about like 6 o'clock.
But we'd still take that, wouldn't we?
Yeah,
it's still fine. That hasn't shown up. What has shown up is Mr. Swell. I didn't order the swell. Did you?
I didn't order the swell.
Did you order the swell, you little bugger?
What
Can't
did you
believe
do that
it.
for?
Can't believe it. So yeah, light wind, downwind sailing with swell. You know what that means? Exactly, flappy Genoa. But I think we've timed the tides well today.
Yeah.
We got spat through the middle of Jersey and Guernsey, and we've gone as far west as possible before the eastwards tide is kicking in, which it is now. And it's pushing us round in quite a little extended dog leg, which will be lovely. And we have for lunch. You've got to be selective on a boat in terms of what you bring with you from your home when you go cruising. I brought my toasty maker because we love toasties. Toasties on passage. I mean, this is a French toasty. This is ham, Dijon mustard, a 10-month-old Comte cheese. I mean, got salt crystals in it and everything. Delicious. Absolutely lovely. And
it's what you need on a day like this.
Yeah, warm, crispy, cheesy, hammy.
Carbs.
Lovely, lovely. The only thing though is in France, getting the bread, like the square bread that you need, is a bit of a chore because people are generally eating good bread from a boulangerie, you know, like baguettes and big rustic loaves and all that. So to get this bread, you've got to go and do the walk of shame in the aisle of the supermarket, where you can imagine like French people go to buy bread for their fussy French kid who's like an embarrassment to the family because he won't eat baguette or she won't eat baguette. But you need it to make you can't make toasties with a baguette. No. I mean, you can make toasted baguettes, but you can't put it in a toasty maker. No. You need square bread.
And it's all the better because we couldn't have them last season.
No,
like not on passage.
No, exactly. No. We've got them now though.
Yeah.
Let's dig in. 10.5 hours in.
Hey.
And we've got about 7 miles left, so about an hour. We're doing 7 knots at the moment. And we'll get in for 5:30.
Yeah,
so
be nice.
that will be about 11 hours. 11 hours and 20 minutes.
That's
for 60 odd miles. We've made good progress. We've done the tides well today. We only had the foul tide when we got out of Diélette. All right, bit of a core workout.
Yeah, we've been rocking about.
Yeah, very, very swelly.
It's eased off now though.
Yeah.
You can tell we're getting closer in now.
Yeah, we're kind of sheltered a bit by this land here, aren't we?
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm happy to get in.
Yeah, me too. I'm getting a bit cold now. Yeah.
It's just a bit damp, isn't it? It's been a damp day.
Yeah.
Damp day. Damp day leaving Diélette.
Yeah, ready to get in, get warm, get out of like foulies and stuff, put something more cosy on.
Damn right. I'm looking forward to a glass of wine, going to bed. I don't think I've ever been so excited to go to a spa. There's a spa shop, not a spa, like, as in like a hot stone massage, like that. A spa with an R, the shop. We still have them in France. There's one of them. So anyway, we're going to go and see them because hopefully exciting. It's open. I know.
So
get some provisions.
Just approaching the port now. I haven't quite finished setting the lines and fenders up. Rob just called me back to the cockpit because it all gone a little bit crazy for a second. Seems to have calmed down a little bit now. Can finish getting set up. And apparently at this port they come out and meet you. come out in a little rib and guide you into whatever berths they think's best.
Thanks for crewing with us again, sailors. Stay tuned for a very important message from Yui, and join us next time when we explore beautiful Saint-Quay-Portrieux, Rob gets a haircut, and we crack 9 knots on the way to Roscoff. Like, comment, share and subscribe, and as always, fair winds.